Good morning, Flosstube. It is Helen D. Happy Monday. Today is actually February 24th. Filming a day early just because I had time. Thank you for spending some time with me today to talk all things cross stitch. Hope you're doing well. Hope the weather is cooperating in your area. It's been a couple weeks since I did a video. We had school vacation week last week, February break. Back to school today. I'm ready for routine. I definitely do better with routines, and honestly, I think my son does too. So we're back to routines today. It was a rough wake up this morning though, for everyone involved. I leave next week for Nashville Needlework Market. I'm going to help Barbie of Pedal Pusher again. Both cats are down here, and there's potentially some fighting, so get ready for that. So I'm getting ready for market. You don't really need to do much, right? Just pack, decide what I'm bringing, what I think I can work on in the airport or on the plane, just so I get a little stitching in every day. I think my stitching has been a little more focused over the last 2 weeks. You can see the top of my stack, but some of these projects have floss boxes in them and they're just wider. So that's why. There's only 6 bags over here, so that's less than I've had in the past lately. I only had 1 new start, not 6, just 1, and that's about it. We're gonna jump in with fully finishes, and I have nothing to show you today. However, I did some fully finishing. I did quite a bit in January that I hadn't shown because I finished some market models for Amanda May of Ardith Designs. And then I finished a bunch of smalls. My local friend group, we did a gift for a friend. So I finished those. So I took little videos of those that I'm going to insert here, and I may have recorded them on the same day. I don't remember that far back. So if I'm wearing the same thing, chances are I did. So I will insert my FFOs here. Hi Flosstube, past Helen here. I just wanted to show you the finishes that I did for Amanda May, who is Ardith Design. She had reached out and asked me if I would do some finishing for some of her market models, Nashville Needlework Market. So I finished 5 things for her, and I'm getting ready to mail them back. But I thought instead of just showing you a picture later, seeing the actual model is always better, right? So at this point, Amanda May has released all of her information to shops. So if any of these are something you're interested in, you should be able to do a pre-order with your shop or look for it after market. So I did 5 things for her. I have her information so I get the names right. The first one is Starlight Trees Holiday Ornament. So this one I finished. It's not quite a circle. I put a fabric on the back and made a matching cording. I love the bright colors, but they're kind of muted. I thought it was really pretty. So that is Starlight Trees. That's the first one. The second one is Blue Jay and Persimmons. This is the 6th in her Chesapeake Bay Treasures series. I've stitched the crab, which was the first one. So this one I just did a simple pillow finish. I had this blue that matched and this trim. This trim is from My Vintage Needle Arts on Etsy, and it is sweet potato mini palms. And My Vintage Needle Arts palms come off the tape like Lady Dot creates palms, so they're really easy to sew down on the edge. So that's this one. Another pillow, this is Give Bees a Chance. Oh, there's my heat. I knew I should have turned that off. This one I need 2 hands. So this is a bigger chart, or it's stitched on a bigger fabric, but I turned this one into a pillow. I had some yellow and some just polka dot. And then to pick up on the flowers, I had this. This is Chianti, which is a Lady Duck Creates color of chenille. And then this is a little Jabco, just another button company B. And Amanda May will have all the finishing information on her chart. So that is Give Bees a Chance. And I did do recently, it actually posts today, but not for you guys. I did a tutorial on this kind of flange, this exact finish, if it's a finish that you're interested in. Oops. Next up, sorry, my phone died. This is Bows of Plenty Tree. And she wanted me to finish that on one of the tree stumps, which the tree stumps come from Amazon. And if you search wood place card holder, like you get a whole bunch of options. So this is the tree. The great thing about this is, oh sorry, it's called, yeah, Bows of Plenty Tree. I think I said that. If these aren't your colors, you could easily, it's like 4 or 5 colors, you could easily just say, I want traditional reds and greens, or I want something very prim. But that was a super cute tree. Now, the trim, she had sent me this stuff, a Staz. She got this right on 123, and I just looked it up, and it was like $3, $3.50. I don't know how many, 2.5 yards. So how I ended up putting that on was I used the Aleene's glue, and I would put a little glue and then lay it down and then try to pin it to hold it in place to dry. There is a little piece of like central cord. It was a little finicky. Whew. I thought that was a bug. It was a little piece of bark. It scared me. It was a little finicky, but it's super cute once it's on there. So there's that one. And then the final one is Miss Bunny Hopscotch. And we finished her as a stand-up. I just went from my stash to see what I had that would match. So this is a regular stand-up. So what I did for her bow, when I had everything done, and then you make your cording, and sometimes you have a little extra. I had a little more than this, then I used it. So all I did was, here's my little scrap, right? It's already coming apart at one end. I just tied a bow, not a bow. I tied a knot, just one simple, one knot. And then I just cut, I don't know, 1 centimeter on both sides, and then kind of unfrayed it. And then I just put a pin in it. So it is just in there with a straight pin, so that you can easily kind of take it out if you don't want it, right? You don't need to add it, it's not in the chart, but I thought it just gave her a little something extra. But it's easily removable. I've done that too sometimes, like with an ornament. This one I did the cording so it's not quite in the center, but sometimes if I have it in the center, I'll put that in, and it's just kind of like an easy bow that you don't have to worry about getting even. So those are the 5 finishes that I did for Amanda May. Like I said, she is Ardith Design, and all of these will be available at Nashville Needlework Market, along with several others. She has a lot of new releases. So if you're interested, you can let your LNS know, and keep an eye out for these. Bye. Hi Flosstube, past Helen. I wanted to record a quick little video to show you some finishes that I did that I haven't been able to share yet. Some fully finishes. So I have an amazing group of local stitchers. I think there's 15 or 16 of us now that we try and get together. We used to try and get together monthly. It's dwindled to less than that now because of life, right? It's hard to schedule things where everyone can make it. But amongst that group, Emmy's shaking the camera. That wasn't me. She had an itch. Whenever one of us is going through a hard time, we say it's time to fire up the friendship smalls. And in December, it was time to fire up the friendship smalls. So what we decided this time, we've done it different ways, but this time we decided to do something different. And instead of everyone coming up with their own small for our friend and getting it to them and fully finishing it and getting it to them, we thought, let's pick a series and everyone sign up who has time, right? Not everyone always has time. Everyone sign up who has time, stitch one of the charts, and then our friend will get the whole series. So that's what we did. We chose 12 monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. This came out in 2024, I believe, and these are very small, 39 by 39. So we thought they're very manageable, they're very quick. And I said, if you guys want, I'm happy to stitch one, but there's more of us than there are months. If people want to sign up, stitch it, send it to me, I will finish all of them. That will kind of be, instead of stitching one, I will finish them. So we said, you know, take your month. The only restriction was that we wanted them done on a 16 count Aida or a 32 count Lugana. That way they would be roughly the same size. You don't want to stick to these colors, don't stick to these colors. Like that was the only thing, was 16 or 32 so that they would finish about the same size. So they're all done. I may need a different holder, but this is what I have for now. And I'm gonna go through and show them to you. Now I did not shove them in here in order, so I'll do the best I can. All right, so January was Wendy. She stitched this one. I decided to finish them all very simply. I didn't really have a lot of small trim, and the big trim, the pom-poms would have been okay, but I didn't have all the right colors, and like a big chenille or something would have just been overwhelming because they're so small. So that's January, and our friend is kind of a primer person, so we used primer colors. All right, February was Missy. Some of them I'm having to look because some of them I was better on closing the bottoms than others, so some I can't even tell. So that is February. March is easy because it's clovers. This is March. This was Cheryl. I just went through my fabrics and picked ones that match. April was Emma. This one's April. Fuzz. Stuffing. Obviously that's the bottom. May was Brandy. Let's see here. So that's May. June was Marissa. July was Patty. I think I didn't even reuse any fabrics. I think I managed to get them all different. August was also Patty. Must be this one. So that one's August. September. September was Adina. I love this fabric on the back. October was Rebecca. November, they're all piled up. November was Kathy. And December was Tina. So these were fun. It was fun to see them come in. You know, everyone did their own thing. I think the majority were called for colors, but all the fabrics are just a little different. And it was just a nice way to do something not a giant commitment stitching wise, right? Like these all stitched up really quickly. Like I said, I finished them all the same. I kind of did them in chunks, and I would just like I know some people kind of chain sew a quilt where they kind of go through if they're doing small pieces and stuff like that, and I zipped them through, so they didn't take that long. And like I said, I need a different kind of display thing here, but now she will have the whole set. I'm one short. I need a bigger basket. I need a bigger boat. She will have the whole set, all stitched up, and I need to get these over to her, just to kind of let her know we were thinking of her and that she was in our hearts. So I just wanted to share those. Bye. All of those have now been either hand delivered or off in the mail. So none of those FFOs are here anymore. And I started an FFO for myself, but I need to paint the frame over break. So that will get done at some point. I have the paint, but I need to actually paint it. So moving on to finishes, I have one finish, and it's the one I expected. It's Woodland Winter from Autumn Lane Stitchery. Now I'm questioning. I think it's Autumn Lane Stitchery. Autumn Lane, Woodland Winter. This was a stitch along. It started the very beginning of January, like the 5th, and it was 5 parts, and the last one came out, and I did finish it. So that's the whole thing. I have a couple of changes, some intentional, some unintentional. Intentional, I changed the color of my animals. I used the 2 browns that were already in the chart for the deer, and then DMC 4 for the squirrels. Unintentional, this is completely in the wrong spot. And then another intentional, this wispy smoke. I love how it's like white and then a light blue, and then it was a dark blue. It's the dark blue that's this right here, which on my fabric is very hard to see. So you can kind of see it, especially in person, in this full section, but when it was just the strands by themselves, you couldn't see it. So I changed it to the light. The same light that's down here, I just carried on. And what else did I change? Oh, there was one spot down here that was like blank. It was like supposed to be one of these kind of snow lines. I just filled it in. And I used Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid, Petite Silk Lame, the white Petite Silk Lame for the snowflakes and the shiny bits. And I think that's it. I think that's all of my intentional and unintentional. This one I have a frame for. I just ordered a very, very plain standard. It's a size A4 on mine. Mine is on a 14 count sapphire from Fiber on a Whim, and it will fit in an A4 frame, which I don't remember what the dimensions are of that, but it's an A4. So it's very basic white. I'll get that framed up, maybe even this week. Like framing is the quickest finish for me, so hopefully I can just get that whipped up. So that is that one. Then moving on to whips in my one new start. So the one whip we've been plugging along with is 324 from Works by ABC. I'm over here. I believe I have the row I'm on plus 2 more rows, and this half will be done. I'm past the halfway point at this point, but I will admit it's beginning to feel like work. So we'll see if I'm able to keep up with working on it every day. I'm trying to do at least 1 every day. I love to get 2 done a day. We'll see. So that's where I'm at. I'm halfway through. I did change this one. I started in the middle of the row because the majority of these motifs are different, but there are a couple that are the same, and this one and this one were exactly the same. And I'm like, those are really close. So for this one here, I just took the page that's on the other side and pulled one and swapped it out. So I did that first so I wouldn't forget. And now I'm working my way over, and then I'll go over this way. Usually I pick one side and just do the whole row, but I mixed it up. Living on the edge. So this one is on either white or antique white, 28 count, 32. This is a 32 count. Plugging away. I did pull floss for a lot of these pinks. I'm not gonna enjoy that. It's a lot of pink. My Joann's, unfortunately, like so many of us, is being closed. So I kind of went through and pulled some stuff. I was going up to see my friend Penny of the Daily Stitcher, and I'm like, well, whatever I need for a bunch of rows, I can just pick up from her when I'm there. So I did. I think I only needed 5 that I couldn't find. Usually I can find them, but I had about 5 that I just bought. Then I pulled out, I didn't grab the full picture of this one. Oh, yes I did. I forgot I printed it. This is a Lord of the Rings piece. I don't remember the designer. I'll write it below. Nope. This one is the one that, like I talked to you about, you get it through an Etsy shop that's a charity shop, and then if you buy it, you buy a different chart, and then they send you like a document with other charts, and you get to pick a freebie chart. It's Stitching Coven. And this is actually the freebie chart. So I'm way down here and I'm not doing this. And I pulled it out just enough to get one person done. So I have Saruman done. One eye looks a little bigger than the other. So I might either go at that with my, the little thing you pull your threads through with that I just lost the wording of, or I may have to restitch those eyes, because they don't look the same size. Maybe one's is Evil Eye. There was a lot of stitches in that. I thought, oh, I'll just get one person done. That won't take that long. It did take that long. There's a lot of stitches in there. This is on 28 count Olympia from Mystic Fabrics. So, one of those done. Like I said, some of these, there was a lot of flosses, so I put them in a box, so they take up more space. It makes my stack look a little larger than it actually is. I think, I don't know who's next. This is really crinkly, I apologize. And I'm putting my notes in that bag. I guess because I didn't do a video last week, I am out of practice. All right, next on this stack, I think, is my new start. My birthday was over the last 2 weeks, and I wasn't planning a birthday start, but then I decided I wanted one. So I started Lone Caribou from Pigeon Coop Designs. This is on a 28 count antique white. I did finally I moved it. I put my St. Patrick's Day stuff out, and the bear that was there, I moved to the other side of the room. This is a companion piece. So I just started, and I moved the Q-snap so you kind of can't see, but I'm down on the bottom. The caribou will be here. These are kind of the trees. I'm using my needle miner from B&E Stitchery because Emma and I bought this chart together. So I'm here. And then I'll keep going on him. This one might be decent airport stitching because I can see the holes no problem, and it's minimal colors with block stitching. So that is a potential airport stitch. All right. Another one that I've been kind of little bitting at a time that I just haven't shown you in a while is I have been trying to keep going on Real Comfort. So Plum Street Samplers Real Comfort, I'm just trying to keep a few strands at a time, or it will absolutely never get done. So I filled in the rest of the leaves on this little section, although these two are in the wrong spot, but they're not symmetrical with what's on the other side, so it doesn't matter. They're fine. So now I can just fill in all this green. I'll have to come in here and figure out, there's a walkway to the house, so I'll have to figure out where that line is to kind of finish filling in. And it looks like I did a little up here. Maybe I just wanted a different color. I had been doing just the green. So this is on Light Taupe Lugana, 28 count. It's gonna be ginormous. But just, if I'm in the car or something, I'm not in the car as much anymore because my son's tennis is longer, so I drop him off and I come home. For a while there I was waiting because it wasn't enough time to bother to come home. But not anymore. And he won't drive himself for a while because he won't take driver's ed till this summer. And then we got to get all his hours. All right, this is the piece that's actually gotten the majority of my time. Once I finished, I had to move the Q-step. I almost moved it last night and I thought, nope, I'll pull it off today, and that way when I put it back, I can move it to where I need it. When I finished Woodland Winter, I pulled this one out, and I've been working on it ever since. So this is from the spring, just cross stitch. They're yearly stitch along. It's called Nature's Journey, and it's by Sprouting Lupine. And that's the whole thing. So this is cat hair. This is the spring section. And I started mine, I'm using 28 count Tundra from Mystic Fabrics. Normally I like to do like a bottom start, but you kind of have to start with where it is in a stitch along. So I knew that for my border, I would only have 1.5 inches on the sides, which I'll frame it myself, so I'll make that work. I'll have more on the top and bottom. So I folded it in half this way. And then I measured in 1.5 inches and started on the bottom of the spring section. So here's where I'm at. I really enjoy this piece. The colors are great. Everything is just so delicate and realistic looking. I don't always stitch realistic looking things. So these right here, right, that'll carry on into the next. I've done a lot since you've seen it. I think I had done like these and I was working on these eggs. So I've done all of that. Last night I did the bee and this flower and started these, but then I was like, I couldn't get another stitch on where it was in the Q-snap, and this was in the Q-snap, so I have to move it. So I'm going to move up. I'll probably start back over here so that I can start this branch. I have this little bit and then all this big branch. So yeah, it's really, really pretty. I think my fabric choice is really gonna work. The whites don't super pop. They're right here. But they pop enough, and I don't know, I think it looks really nice. So that one has gotten the majority of my time and is probably what I'll focus on most the next couple weeks to try and get it done. My disassembled Q-snap is now over there. So that's what I've been stitching. I didn't put this away. I put my notes in there, but not this, so that has to get put away. Purchases, nada, not one. I have one little happy mail. Rhonda sent me a thank you, kind of a thank you, just a little gift that came on my birthday, so her timing was perfect. This is Picture This Plus Shale, Ada, which is like a brownie purple, and this gorgeous floss called Scandalous from Cottage Garden Threads. They actually look really nice together. So thank you, Rhonda. Find something fun to put on that. That was it. Two things I wanted to mention. Last video, I showed those embroidery hoop frames from Busilla that I got from Joann's. We sold them out. And it's Joann's, and they've been having issues. So I know a few people weren't able to get them. They were sold out. A couple people had them on order, and then their orders got canceled. Who knows what the status of those will be. Amazon does have some of the sizes. So if you really wanted one and you couldn't get one, I would check there. They didn't seem to have all of the sizes, and you couldn't use a coupon or anything, but they had them for the same kind of full price. So that's an option. I do plan on using one to do a finish, and I had a few people ask me if I would do a tutorial when I did it, so that's the plan. I'm trying to decide if I want to paint it first or just do the tutorial with it unpainted and then just paint it after. It's a winter piece, so if I don't paint it right now, it's no big deal. So that's in the plans for the next couple weeks. And then the Wordy Bird charts, they're Sweetwing Studio, and it's a club this year from Heartland Quilting and Stitching, the Cornhusker State Stitchers. I was unaware. I thought they wouldn't be released until next year, but they're actually releasing them as PDFs on the Heartland Quilting website, which I'll link, like a month-ish after that. Like the January one is available currently, and then the February one will probably be available within a week or two. So if you're interested in them, you don't have to wait until next year. If you get them, they're exclusive to Heartland Quilting for now, but that will be available as PDFs a month-ish after that month is out. So keep an eye out for those. The April one may be here before next video. We'll wait and see. I bet it has something to do with April showers, right? So giveaways is the last thing. For last week, for number 1, this Shamrock Blessings, this was donated by Carla at Cobweb Corner, is going to Rachel Turner, who is Rachel Stitches. Rachel Turner. And then the second was number 2. It was a $10 gift card to Cobweb Corner, is Liza Phipps, Phipps. My email is listed below. Just shoot me an email with your address, and I can get those out to you. And I always list below who the winners are, people who need to contact me. So we have a couple more this week from Carla at Cobweb Corner, who is back. She had been on vacation, but her shop is now back open, fully open. She's not going to market this year, so I am going to miss hanging out with her. But we are overdue for a phone call. We need to schedule that now that she's back before I go. So giveaway rules, you have to be over 18 so you can legally give me your address. Please don't say win or giveaway. I always appreciate having a subscriber. So does Carla, and I always list all her information below. And now that she's back, I'm guessing she's going to start her auctions back up. She'd been doing a lot of auctions before she left, so I would look for those fairly soon, would be my guess. So just use the numerical number. Number 1 is Lucky Crow from Threadwork Primitives. Number 1. Number 2 is another $10 gift card. And that way you can just choose whatever chart you want to Cobweb Corner. And then number 3 is one that I've gotten sent in. This is Seasonal Etchings from Heart and Hand. So that's number 3. If you're interested in any of those. That is it. Regular update. I don't know if I'll do one next week before I go to market or wait until I come back. We'll all find out together. That's how it works around here. So, oops. I hope everyone has a good couple of weeks. I will see you when I see you. When I'm at market, I will try and post pictures and things on my Instagram, which is East Coast Period Crafter. It's really hard to film clips to then insert in videos after the fact. And I have terrible editing software and it takes forever. But I can at least put stuff up in my stories and stuff when I'm there. So you can keep an eye out for that if you're interested. And I will see you guys later. Bye.